Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're doing really well today. So today I want to share with you my favourite minimalist barefoot shoes. You guys know that I love this type of shoe and I really want to share the shoes that I own, the shoes that I've owned in the past, the benefits, and yeah, just kind of the overall feel of what they're like and what it's like to wear them in life and the reasons why you might want to if you don't already. So what I'm going to do first is just talk about the benefits of barefoot shoes, and then I will show you the different shoes I've got. So just to give you a quick glimpse, I've got the Vibram Five Fingers, and I've got Earth Runners, and I've also got a pair of Wildlings shoes. So they're the ones I'm going to be talking about in the future. But for now, let's start off by talking about why you'd want to start wearing barefoot shoes and what the benefits are. So I think for me the first biggest benefit, the reason that I started wearing them in the first place, was I really wanted to support my natural foot movement. If you guys know anything about me, you'll know that I'm all about living a more natural life in whatever way I can in this crazy modern world we live in. And I think that having that natural movement of the foot and the sensory input from your feet with the earth is really important, and something that is lost with modern day shoes because you've got that really thick sole and your feet can no longer feel the stimulus underneath. And I think that connection is really important, and I think that that sensory feedback is something that's just, it's a natural thing that humans have had our whole lives. And so when I think about certain people in life, you maybe live your life in shoes every day and then come home and put on slippers, and a lot of the time slippers have that thick sole too. So for some people in the world, they maybe never really get the chance to actually allow their foot to feel different textures and different feelings, and I think that's a real shame, but something that's normalised. And so until you realise that, you maybe would never think about it. But yeah, by doing this, by allowing your feet to feel that natural movement, you actually harden your feet, but also they become more sensitive and they can feel that different texture, they can feel the different heats, and I just think it's a lot better. And I think that helps the connection to your body and the earth too, which I'm all for. So the next thing that's really good is that I'll show you on these ones. They have a wide toe box. So with normal shoes, I'll see if I can just grab some shoes one sec. So I've got a pair of normal boots here that I brought with me, and as you can see, they're tapered in really quite severely compared to these ones where it's it goes in a lot later. You can definitely see the difference there, and that these are quite wide, to be honest, but if you look at your own shoes and then look at the shape of your foot, you'll see what I mean. That wide toe box allows your toes to be able to move freely without being cramped into a really bizarre shape. So someone at some point in time decided that feet needed to look pointy, and because of that now shoes are made like that. And there are some wild shoes out there where they're just weird, and you'll know yourself from when you have tried on shoes in different shoe shops and you kind of think, wow, my toes do not fit into these shoes, or your little toe becomes really squashed. And maybe if you wear high heels or have worn high heels in the past, you'll know what I mean about this, that constant pressure downwards and that squashing into that tiny little space is not healthy, and it can cause toes to overlap. So they'll usually overlap on top of the other one or maybe underneath, and your toes will kind of bow all the same way. And that's basically because over the years you've conditioned your feet to fit into this tiny ridiculous shape. So having shoes like this is really helpful because it allows those toes to spread. A really good tell of whether your shoes are a wide toe box is you can get things called toe spreaders, and if you've ever had a pedicure you'll know what I mean. They kind of fit in between each one of your toes, and the way we can do this with our fingers, we should probably be able, probably not as extreme, but we should be able to do this with our toes too, and a lot of people can't. And so you should be able to fit your toes into your shoes with those toe spreaders on so that you can have maximum movement of your little toes. The next thing is about heel drop. So you want shoes that have zero drop. By zero drop, what I mean is, as you can see on this shoe, when it's laid flat, it flicks up there compared to this shoe where it's just flat the whole way. And so, let's see if you can see the difference. You want a shoe where when you put your foot flat on the ground, it stays flat on the ground and your toes don't flick up at the end. At some point in time, someone decided that this was a really good idea because I guess it makes sense because you can rock like this and it's supposed to enhance the movement and make it easier for you to walk. but all that happens is you destabilize this, and this is a thing because there is a heel here. So as you can see, there's a really thick heel, and because of that thick heel, then they put the flick up at the top. So if your shoe is completely flat, that's the normal shape of our feet. You know, our feet are flat, and that's just the natural movement of a foot. And so when you put that heel cushioning in and when you put that toe flick up, your feet are constantly compensating for what you've done to them. You know, they are really clever things, feet. They have so many bones and so many little just tendons and ligaments that help it to move. If you're into biomechanics, you'll know exactly what I mean, but your feet are constantly adjusting and calibrating to the surface that they're on. And so if they're constantly in shoes like this, they're constantly going to be adjusting to this, and that's going to have a massive impact on your posture, your gait, and your overall muscle strength. So these types of shoes make the muscles in your legs weak, whereas allowing natural foot movement and walking barefoot or walking in flat shoes helps to strengthen those muscles that were weak before. The reason that I know this is a thing is because when I switched over to Vibram shoes, I had to take it really slow when I was running, because I was so used to running in shoes with heel support that it was just a massive change for my muscles, and it took a long time to get those muscles strong enough to be able to run long distances in barefoot shoes, which is crazy because that's what our natural feet are designed to do, but we constantly just change things in this modern world, and it's just quite bizarre. So that's all about, you know, the benefits and why you'd want to wear them. I also want to put in here that I have a collection of barefoot shoes, and I'm sure it will only grow in the future. I do like to have minimal things, but with shoes I think it's really important to acknowledge that we do live in seasons, depending on where you live in the world. But for me, I always live in seasonal places, which means there are really harsh winters and really nice warm summers, and then this kind of midway in between where it's just not really sure what it's doing. And because of that, I need a winter shoe, I need a summer shoe, and then probably just like a lightweight shoe in between. And so my wardrobe reflects that, and so do my shoe choices. So I hope this is helpful, because I feel a lot of reviews out there just show sandals or just show boots, and I think that you can have the best of both worlds. So without me blabbering on too much longer, let's get into this review. So the first shoe that I want to talk about is the Vibram Five Fingers, because this is a shoe that I've owned the longest, and it was one of the first barefoot shoes that I actually ever owned. The pair of shoes that I owned before this were called Zero shoes, and I don't recommend them. I see a lot of reviews here on YouTube. I wore them for maybe 3 months, and in that time the sole wore completely through. I think since then they have made thicker soles, but I just really didn't enjoy that shoe. I thought it felt really strange on my foot, and yeah, don't recommend it. So these are the shoes that I got after that, and this was because I got really into running, and I was really enjoying running and wanted to run in a more natural way. And I really liked the fact that there are individual toes in here. Even though it looks quite bizarre, it meant that my toes could move freely, and that again, it's just got that full flexibility and full range of movement that you need in a shoe. So yeah, these were really good. I think the benefits of them obviously are all of the benefits that I said before, but also that it's really easy to walk quietly in these and just really enjoyable. I don't feel like I'm even wearing shoes when I do wear these. I have had a few issues with blisters on my little toes when wearing these, and recently the big toe split, so I don't know if you can see that. But in there it's split open. So yeah, these are probably at the end of their lives now, because that's kind of rubbing and giving me blisters, but they've lasted for maybe 2 if not 3 years, so really good value for money. And as you can see, the sole's hardly even worn through, and I've run a lot in these guys, and I've also gone on lots and lots of hikes in them too. Vibram soles are one of the best soles that you can buy out there in terms of longevity, but also being able to feel the ground beneath your feet. The biggest drawback of these is that they look weird. I'm just gonna put it out there. They look bizarre, and even though I wear them and I see other people wearing them, I think, wow, those look so strange. If I was buying these again, I would buy them in a much more subtle colour than bright purple. Maybe I would get black, or maybe I would get grey, just something a bit more low-key, because they do look quite bizarre. But they also do look really nice on your feet, and they make your feet look a lot smaller than what normal shoes do. So that's those ones. The next shoes I've got are the Earth Runners. So these look really grotty, and that's because I wear them and I'm not afraid to show you guys my grotty shoes. I've made a shoe review once before and someone called me out for my shoes being disgusting, and I'm like, that's part of it when you wear shoes. They get gross. So Really love these. I've reviewed these once before on a video and I stick to my word. Nothing has changed in my opinion about these shoes. I think they're amazing, and I wear these all summer long, and then it comes towards like springtime and I'll still wear them. I'll just put socks on too. I meant to say that on the other shoes. I have toe socks and they're really great if you do wear barefoot shoes, especially the Vibrams, because I mean they need to be individual toes, otherwise they won't fit in the shoe. But these are so comfortable, and as you can see, it's kind of shaped to the shape of my foot right now, which is, it's really interesting. But again, these are just a flat shoe, and they also have all of this movement going on, which is so good. And yeah, you can run in these and you can hike in these, and like I said, these are basically my go-to shoe when I'm not barefoot in the summertime, and they're made from, I think it's hemp and cotton. Really like that, and there is only, I think this strap may be synthetic like underneath, but I'm not sure. But really enjoy the guy who's behind these, and you know, the Instagram that they have. Earth Runners has so much good information about being barefoot and the perks and benefits of barefoot living, so I recommend checking them out. So if you're in the market for this shoe, then I would highly recommend going for it. I nearly forgot to mention as well, there is an earthing plate, so if you are into earthing, then this is a really great way to be able to carry on earthing even though you're wearing shoes. So this copper plate is conductive, and so it conducts the Earth's electrons into your body, which is so good. I plan on doing a video in the future talking about earthing, in case any of you are wondering what the heck I'm talking about, so look out for that one soon. So the next shoe is the last one. Let's see. So these are called Wildlings, and they came into my life recently. I found this company on Instagram of all places, and I just fell in love with them. I fell in love with the types of shoes they had, and I was in the market for a winter shoe, because here in Queenstown it's very cold, and when I go back home to England in the winter it's going to be cold again too, and I really wanted a boot like this one. I wanted to replace this boot because it's pretty much lived its little life now, and as you can see they're very similar. This one looks way more small than this one does, this big old bulky thing, but when I've been walking in this one I feel like I can't feel the ground, and I'm just like heel striking the whole time because of that cushioning, and it makes it easy to. When I wear these I feel like I'm literally wearing slippers. Oh, they are so comfy. It just feels like a sock. It doesn't even feel like I'm walking in shoes. It's so weird. I've not owned these very long, so I obviously don't have the drawbacks for them right now, but once I've worn them for a little bit longer I'll probably review them again in the future. But for now I am so impressed with these, and I really recommend them. They also have shoes for children as well as adults, which is so good. I think the only drawback would be that I bought a pair of these and had to send them back, and then got these ones because I followed the instructions online. So they have like a printout version that you can print out, and it's a template of the foot, or you can measure your own foot and go with that. So the first time I measured my own foot and went with that, and the shoes turned out to be huge. They look like flippers. But then the second time I did the printout version and they fit literally like a glove. So highly recommend doing that if you do look to buy some of these. So comfortable. They are made of 100% cotton, which is so good. Obviously the sole is rubber, but the sole is also really thin, but thick enough that it's not uncomfortable when you're walking on, you know, like harsh surfaces, but you can feel the earth underneath you, which I really appreciate. I was really impressed with these the first time that I wore them, because I went on a hike and it was so boggy. It was so muddy, I got absolutely filthy, and they actually were really good with the traction to say that there's not actually that much going on under here. And like I said, they were filthy. I will insert pictures, and once they dried out really quickly as well, I just want to add. I just hoovered them off, and literally they look as good as new, so really impressed with that, and the fact that they came clean even though they're such a light material. So really do love these shoes. I'm really impressed with all the shoes that I've tried, and I think that my Vibrams, they've probably come to the end of their life now, and so these are the two shoes that I'll be taking with me in the future, but I'm really happy with them as a system, and think that barefoot shoes are just so wonderful. And although they do make your feet hard because your feet are getting used to that impact again, I think that's such a good thing, because having overly sensitive feet isn't good, and I think it's so much better to just get back to nature in whatever way you can in this modern world, because the more we connect to nature, the better life will be, and the better it is for our bodies, the better it is for our planets too. And I love the fact that a lot of these barefoot companies, they use natural materials, and I would highly recommend to do your research about natural materials and to steer away from the companies that are using synthetic materials, whether they're recycled or not. I really don't think that adding plastic to the world is a good thing regardless, because I think if you can go for alternatives like cotton that biodegrade after you're done with them, that's a much better option, and also doesn't get stinky. So I'll add here that these are made from plastic. I'm not sure what material it is, but it's not a natural material at all, and they get so stinky. So if it's a really wet run that I go on, they do get really smelly, whereas I've not really experienced that with the other shoes. So just another thing to keep in mind. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found value. Let me know below if you use barefoot shoes, if you're interested in using them, or what brands you've used and what you recommend. I would love to know. It's really great to be able to share our experience with each other and just share different brands that maybe other people could try too if they're not interested in trying the ones that I said. I'll leave all links to the shoes that I mentioned in the video below so that you guys can find them if you want to and do a bit more research. There's also a really great podcast that I will recommend. I will leave it up on the screen. If you listen to that podcast, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. He does a lot better of a job at being eloquent and making it more understandable. And obviously he's science-based, so that's always a good thing. So I really hope that you give that a listen to, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. So that's it from me today, guys. I hope you have a really great day, and I'll speak to you all in another video very, very soon. Bye, guys.